Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello.
Over to you.
Right then. So where do you want me? Here?
Wherever you would like. There, down.
Okay. Hello. I have to put these on because I can't see what I'm doing otherwise. Oh my God. Okay. Good morning, One Young World. How's it going? Thank you so much for inviting me back again this year. I had a lovely time in Zurich last year. It was brilliant. So it's really lovely being in Pittsburgh. It's really beautiful here, actually. I didn't realise. So nice. So yeah, I'm glad to be here. So I'm sure that you all enjoyed the opening ceremony as much as I did yesterday. Wasn't Bill Clinton just amazing, so inspiring? So that was really cool. That was really cool to listen to him speak. So I've had so many fantastic questions from all of you. And to be honest, I was kind of overwhelmed by it all, so thank you very much for all of that. I wish I had time to answer them all, but I think I'd be here all night if I did, so I don't really want to bore you. So I'm just going to choose two of the most asked questions. And they are, how have I coped with success from such an early age, and what motivates and inspires me? Well, let's touch on coping with success. I suppose my experience has been one of a slow immersion into a different kind of life than the one that I was brought up in. When I first started, I was only 14 years of age. So I guess, I'd have to say a lot of the things that were happening to me would be considered by many as, shall we say, a little out there. But for me, it was just kind of happening. I was on a path that just kept rolling. I had my mum out with me because I was still a baby, and I had a tutor out with me, which I really hated, because, most 14-year-olds would. And he was a nice chap, but, I don't think I really realised immediately that my life was changing, because I hadn't really had a life before that, apart from school. That was my first and only job. Eventually, the press and the TV exposure hit home and people began to regard me differently, but I still felt exactly the same. That did take a bit of managing, and still does, actually. It was kind of strange when all of a sudden everybody you meet is interested in what you have to say, regardless of whether what you're saying is interesting or worth listening to at all. That's always quite funny. It's weird and a little bit off-putting, when really all I was doing was, making a noise that people happen to like. I know that the fact is that noise, it can move people and it can make great changes. Music, it is a heavy, heavy, heavy thing. But nonetheless, it's still strange when people treat you differently when you are still the same. It's odd. I guess the way that I cope with that was by paying it no attention, really. What can I do? I have to pretend it's not there and carry on as normal. Believing your own hype is the worst thing that you can do. So I didn't do that. I find if you walk into a room with dark glasses on and two big bodyguards, you'll get a lot of eyes on you, which is usually, the opposite effect that I'm looking for. So you take away those shades and take away the bodyguards, go back to the basics, and you can live a normal life. Success can be measured in many different ways. For me, it's about how many people can I touch with my music at the same time as being happy. And my happiness is my family, my home, and my music. You must decide what is your happiness, what is your want. Because everybody's want is different, and there is nothing wrong with that. And once you have made this very, very important decision, let nothing and no one stand in your way. You go get it. So, now to the next question. What motivates and inspires me? It's always a little difficult one. There's so much to be said there. As I stand here today, I have to say that you do. Every one of you inspires me. Here you all are, leaders in your own fields, all striving for and making positive changes on our planet. And that is inspiring. And we all thank you for it. So thank you very much. I'll give you a round of applause for that one. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. I find inspiration in many things. One of the most beautiful things about music is its ability to carry a message or a feeling in the way that can break down barriers of language and culture. As an artist, it's the way that I choose to communicate the things that are important to me. Communication, I believe, is the key word here, as communicating new ideas in a way that can actually be heard can and does affect change. Music is what I know and do. It is where I am comfortable. Where do I find my inspiration? It's different every day. Sometimes I'll meet someone on the street and spark up a conversation, and along comes a song. And sometimes I go to events like this, and along comes a movement. Songs are just one way to get this job done. As we all know, we are incredibly lucky to be living in a time where there are many, many different ways of getting our messages across, no matter what it is. If you aren't heard the first time, then speak a little louder, or find another way of saying what you need to, again and again and again, until you are heard. Refuse to be ignored. I know I'm just a singer, but we're all just something, aren't we? So if we put all of our just together, then we can make something amazing happen. Every great thing that has ever happened has started with an idea. Thoughts on their own are useless. We must act. Having the idea is just the beginning. I've never really been a fan of the word can't. I remember when I was younger, my mum and dad would get really annoyed with us when we would say, "Oh, but I just can't do it." Of course you can was always, always the answer. And I really believe that. That's how I live my life. You can. It's simple. You absolutely can. In fact, you all are. Once you have made your decision, then you can get to the how. Decide to do it first. Some things sometimes just seem too big and too huge to take on, and it's scary. So break it down. Bit by bit, we will get there. Decide on your direction. Be committed to the next step, and then the next, and then the next. And if you stumble, you will still be moving forward. Now to a word that I love, and this word keeps me excited about life. This is what inspires me. It's challenge. There are no problems, just challenges. The trick is to be discerning about which challenges you should take on and whether or not they are worth it. There are challenges in life that we should rise to. And you all know in your hearts which ones need tackling. So hold on to your fire. As today's young people, we need to make sure that that fire burns as brightly as it can. We don't have to accept the things that are wrong just because it is the way that it is today. Tomorrow, it will be different because we will make sure of it. So, I suppose I'm motivated by other people's inspirations as well as my own, and I aspire to be motivated at all times. So, thank you for listening to me. I know some of you have some questions for me, and I will do my best to answer them.
Josh, do you want to come and join me down here?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
So what none of you saw yesterday was President Clinton saying, "Where's Josh Stone? She's been such an amazing supporter and help of my foundation. You have to say hi to her. I can't believe I missed her." So there you go.
He
so
was
you've
lovely.
obviously
Aw.
done a lot of great work for him. So I've got a few questions that delegates have asked that I'd like to pose to you. And the first one comes from Wolfgang from Germany, who's a returning ambassador.
Lovely.
And he says, if you imagine fast forwarding in your life about 30 or 40 years and looking back, what is the one thing you would like to have changed or been able to achieve?
Okay, well, I've had this plan for a little while now. It's kind of a big, mammoth, very important plan for me. Ever since I was little, I was hearing about these world tours, and a lot of artists that I love would always go on a world tour. And I would think, all right, cool. So they're taking their music everywhere in the world. And I realised that actually, no, they're missing out a whole load of countries. And I thought, well, why is one country more important than another? And music is a universal language, and it does, you know, connect these people from one place to another. It's a beautiful thing. So I thought, I would love to sing in every country in the world that exists and bring it all together as one. You know, a world tour is a world tour. No country is more important than another.
So Josh is going to be looking for somewhere to stay in the 183 countries we have here, if you don't mind
If you
putting
don't
her
mind,
up.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'll
So
be looking for
a real
bed.
global tour.
Yeah, a real world tour. You know, it would be nice. You know, spread the music, spread the love, positivity. It's important to do that and to not miss out these places.
Excellent. Erin from the US has a question. She said it's fairly common in today's society to see public figures utilising their celebrity status as a platform for advocacy and to drive positive change. You know, what is it about the world today that concerns you the most, and how do you use your public persona as a vehicle to drive change for that?
Right, well, this is a funny one because I sing songs. That's what I do. And it seems that from that, which is amazing to me, before I go on stage, I get my band and we all get in a circle and I remind them of how lucky we are. We make music, we make noises for a living. And from that, there's a lot of people that listen to us. And it's amazing really what that can achieve. And coming here and speaking to all of you amazing, really inspiring people is kind of cool, being that I just kind of make noises for a living. So it's nice that music touches so many people. So if I can help a charity and be a vehicle for their message, then I'm going to do it. You know, so there's so many issues. You know, why is one issue more important than another? You know, this child over here, he doesn't get to eat very often. This child over here doesn't get to drink. This child doesn't have any right to education. Why is one more important than another? So I try to spread myself kind of thin and help as many as I can. And if I get the opportunity, I ask myself, why not? More than anything.
And is there any particular subject that's, because given how busy you are already, it's hard to do everything. Is there any particular area of focus for you?
Well, that's it though, isn't it? There is no, I can't stand here and say that this issue is more important than this one, because it's just simply not. And a problem's a problem, a need is a need. That's it. You know, so there are the leaders of these charities and all of you lot, you know, you have to focus on what you're doing to achieve your goal. That is someone's job. That might be your job and maybe yours or yours. You know, you'll focus on what you're doing. And I will just try and spread the word as far as I can. That's what I focus on, is spreading whatever word it is that is positive. You know, one day I might do something for an AIDS charity. The other day I might do something that's going to put wells in lots of places in Africa. You know, it's hard to say which one's more important, isn't it? You know?
All pressing needs. So the key thing is to get through to you, because then you'll be able to get to help people.
Yeah,
Terrific.
exactly.
Shruthri from India says, Josh, you're definitely an inspiration for many young people across the world, especially to those suffering from dyslexia. Being a child who suffered from dyslexia, I'm sure you had to face a lot of challenges to achieve success. What's your message to all of those children who suffer from dyslexia and similar things, and especially to members of their families?
Well, I would say I wouldn't look at it as a bad thing, really. I look at it as positive. I really believe that if I didn't suffer from dyslexia, I wouldn't be here. I probably wouldn't do what I do. You know, you can't be everything. You know, I think it's special, isn't it? You can look at it as something that's like abnormal or less than, but it's not less than, it's just different. Richard Branson is dyslexic.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness. There's a long list.
He's done okay.
I mean, he's done all right, isn't he? Mr. Impressive. You know, so, God, there's so many things that you can do. Okay, it's a little bit more difficult to, you know, do algebra, I guess. You know, times tables are a bit of a bugger. But, you know, I don't need those. There's a place for everyone in life. You know, we need people in the world that are really good at algebra, and people that are really good at, you know, reading contracts and stuff. And God, you know, there's all sorts of things that need to be done. But we also need people in the world that know how to write songs and be passionate and go forward and fly balloons around the world and, you know, make, you know, spacecrafts and stuff. So there is a place for everyone. You know, it just means that we're all special. We're all different. There is no normal. Normal is boring anyway, so let's not do normal.
I agree entirely. Next up is from the Philippines, Kathleen. Artists are often perceived to engage in social awareness and charity activities just because of the exposure this will help to give them a good image. How do you deal with these perceptions and how do you prove them wrong?
You know, I don't spend my time proving that kind of thing wrong. Like I said before, I don't really pay that kind of negativity any mind, really. If you water it, it will just grow. So, hey, I just hope that I get asked to do these lovely things and be positive, you know, and add something positive to our world, even if it's a tiny thing. I just hope I get to keep doing it. Don't know, can't really see that as a negative, really.
No, but I think it's a great answer. I think it's a really important point because as you guys set off to do things and change, there will be cynics, there will be people who say,
yeah.
oh, they're doing it. And if you let it get in the way, you won't be able to do and deliver what you want to do. And I think, you know, for me, just the fact that President Clinton would say, oh, where's Josh? He's done the most amazing work helping with the foundation. You know, it answers the question in about 10 seconds. So listen, Josh, thank you so much for doing that.
You so
a huge round of applause for Josh Stone.
You guys.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for coming back.
Cool. This way?
Yes, I think that way.
All right.